For those of you that had a 3DS in the early 2010s, I don't need to tell you that Icarus Uprising is one of the best games on the system and arguably one of the best games ever made. It's an absolute blast with fun gameplay, amazing writing, great characters, fantastic music, enjoyable levels, kind of awkward controls but you get used to them pretty quickly, and some awesome bosses. It's in my top 20 favorite games of all time easily, and it's got a great difficulty system implemented with a slider. There are, however, two levels that shoot way above the others in terms of difficulty, and while I think most of the game's curve as well, Lunar Sanctum can be pretty hard, but it falls more into the hard but fair category. I cannot say the same thing for the Aurum Brain. I'm not going to touch on every single level in this game for this video, but I'll hit the highlights. Pit and Palutena are back in action after 25 years where we start knocking off Medusa's commanders and the underworld forces. After multiple chapters, we come face to face with the Titanic Gorgon and bring her life to an end. But before we can celebrate, Hades reveals that you're not even halfway through the game yet. The game's plot grows a lot more serious as the Wish Seed War breaks out, and temporarily Viridi ends up overshadowing Hades as the main threat, as the forces of nature spend the next 4 chapters as the main opponents you'll be facing off against. Most notably would be Chapter 13, which is home to one of the hardest flying segments in the game, but the on-land portions aren't too bad. It's very difficult, but I would say the challenge is fair as the halfway point of the game. Then we reach Chapter 15, Mysterious Invaders. This begins the Aurum arc, an arc that seems to be maligned by a lot of fans of this game as crappy filler, but to be honest, I don't really consider them to be filler because they do serve a major purpose of Viridi and the forces of nature ultimately becoming your allies and friends, and there's worse villains you could throw into the equation than the Borg Collective.
Not to quibble over details, but I think locusts are a more apt analogy.
Mysterious Invaders is an excellent chapter, and even a lot of people who don't care for the Aurum arc otherwise, I see tend to be at least fairly positive towards it.
I'm feeling the healing.
I hope for your sake that's a hot spring and not some other kind of puddle.
And maybe this is a hot take, but I actually really like the Aurum Hive chapter as well. It's a much more serious battle as we take on their war fleet, and that trench run part followed by shooting down their warships is awesome. Plus it has some of my favorite lines from Hades in the entire game.
Don't curse the darkness, light a candle. When freaky aliens give you lemons, make freaky alien lemonade. Like this!
Whoa! That's one way to do it.
That was awesome.
It's a good chapter with some nice character moments and a fairly creative boss fight. Unfortunately, I can't extend the same goodwill to the last chapter of the Aurum arc.
And now, on to the Aurum Brain.
Honestly, the level starts out very promising. It's this big grand flying segment of you advancing on the Aurum Brain alongside the help of Viridi's forces of nature, Sun God Pyron, and even Hades is making a big assault against this greater threat.
Everyone seems to be in good spirits, though.
Or they finally lost it.
And the stakes are made quite clear as the giant brain is the control center for all of the Aurum we've been fighting throughout the story arc. It honestly starts feeling like Star Wars as you find yourself speeding down the interior of the fortress until you come face to face with the Aurum Brain itself. The Aurum Brain fight itself is nothing super crazy. It's unable to attack you on its own. Instead, it creates Aurum to fulfill whatever need is necessary to fight you, be that shields or bullets or what have you. But the ominous music and lack of true attacks should indicate that this fight is a lie, because not even a minute later...
It's brain frying time!
What are you doing?
Pyron steals the kill from us not even 4 minutes in, and the matter is all resolved and wrapped up nicely, right?
Iron make it out?
Nicely done!
Pyron?
Thanks to you, Pyron has leveled up! I am now a level infinity epic super god plus! Ultimate power is now Pyron!
What are you talking about?
This is what I'm talking about.
So yeah, Pyron betrays you and hijacks the role of main villain from both Viridi and Hades. It's a crown Hades will reclaim later, but Viridi is more than happy to leave that behind. However, This segment is ridiculously difficult to the point that even if I come in here with a weapon that has 5-star or even 6-star range, I still get killed here. And I guess I should mention now, this game has a difficulty slider that adjusts how easy or hard the game is, and while the base level is 2.0, I personally consider 6.0 to be the medium or normal difficulty of the game because that's how it's treated when you play boss rush mode on normal mode. Things get so crazy that Viridi ends up dropping a reset bomb on the Aurum brain, which, mind you, nuked a small country off the map earlier in the game, only for it to barely scratch the brain because, well, big bad evil guy of the arc, essentially. And we're unable to be extracted, and we're stuck in the fight with our wings beginning to catch fire. Why didn't we bring the Pegasus wings with us? I know the 3 sacred treasures are old, and we're saving them for world-ending threats like Medusa and Hades, but I feel like the Borg Collective is probably worthy of at least having one of the treasures come along with us, if I'm being perfectly honest. We ultimately end up getting dropped, but it does lead to one of my favorite lines in the game.
Mayday! Mayday! This looks like the end! I never learned how to read!
Viridi thankfully has a plan to save us, but now we have a newly introduced skydive mechanic, which isn't too difficult, but I swear they made the controls for this more slippery depending on the difficulty level you're playing on, because 2.0 you can basically not touch the control stick, but on 8 or 9 you're flying around the entire screen, the entire segment.
Ouch!
Phew, I'm glad you're alright.
But why did you save me, Viridi? I don't get it.
There's nothing to get! Just shut your yabber and get ready to fight!
I really like that line. We saw hints of it throughout the earlier chapters, but this point really cements Viridi's face turn to being a genuine ride-or-die friend, which will most certainly come in handy during the next story arc. Sadly, this part really sucks as you have no room to move around while the arms start attacking you. Not a big deal for regular drones, but those little spindly fuckers charge right into you, and when you dodge, an enemy pit spins around to face them. It's an amazing feature 99% of the time. This is the 1% of the time it's not, because you'll often get hit in the back right afterwards, and it sucks. Thankfully, Viridi is pretty quick to bring more land because she's honestly more helpful than Palutena is, but we now have some actual room to fight on, and the Nutskis have officially become bros. They are quite helpful. The level continues with fighting until the Aurum battleship begins trying to engulf your platform, and we now have to fight off a bunch of enemies that are designed to give you as little room as possible to maneuver, and it caps off with a doze at the end to attack us. It's not too bad, just don't forget the rare treasure fish. However, after that, we are no longer going to be attacked from just the front, we're now going to get assaulted from all sides, as things get a lot more relentless, but we do get some more great lines from Hades.
Attention passengers, those who fail to pay their fare must exit the vehicle.
And shortly after that, the Aurum ships try to crush us with the good old sandwich technique.
Front! You're being sandwiched!
Ah yes, the old sandwich tactic. How delectable.
Shut up, Hades!
So far, the level isn't too bad, but Pyron does something unforgivable and kills our Nutski bros with a giant beam of fire. And then we drop. Little detail I only just noticed during this recording was that Palutena brings in a new platform with a jump pad on it when the old one falls back to Earth, and finally Palutena sends the help of Centurions after 17 chapters of the game. Great. However, not all help is created equal. Remember how the Nutski bros were effective, stayed out of your way, maybe shot an arm or two, and barring the specific point they sacrificed themselves to save you, you didn't have to worry about their safety? Well, the Centurions are not that way. They are big, easy targets that take hits, and this is where this level sucks so much, as you now have to be good at preemptively dodging things and killing enemies very quickly. Oh, but sometimes you also need to face tank hits so the Centurions don't get shot. Then you're getting attacked from all sides by enemies, including laser-wielding enemies that can shred the Centurion's HP, and gates that will take over half their health in a single hit if you don't break them, so pro tip, just get up at the edge of the platform into a forward dash attack to break it just in time, and be ready to dodge the lasers, which thankfully don't affect the Centurions, but oh boy. The game has one last bit of stinky doo-doo to throw at us with this escort mission, and it might be the worst part of the entire game.
We're closing in on Chiron!
I hope he's decent.
Get it together, Pit. My 4 Centurions are struggling. Destroy those enemies now.
I'm trying my best!
That goddess needs to go to leadership training.
This fight here plays the Underworld Guardian boss theme, and that's for a reason. This segment is fighting all the enemies attacking from all sides while also protecting the Centurions is the hardest boss battle in the game, and it's not even a boss fight. Lasers, those firing squad enemies, and the fucking Aurum worms can kill you quickly, but will also shred your Centurions even quicker. And by even quicker, I mean once a worm starts attacking, the Centurions will be dead in 3 seconds or less. No, I'm not joking.
So, you were just kidding about having no more Centurions, right?
No, I was serious.
Your game, my friend, is over.
The silver lining, if you can even call it that, is that you're given a checkpoint with 4 fully healed Centurions, so you can kind of keep throwing yourself at this enemy rush, which I guess is nice enough, but that's just putting a band-aid on an amputated limb, because you're still dealing with some very powerful enemies, and even a Aurum who's just there to inflict confuse on you out of spite because this annoying enemy rush isn't a pain in the ass enough. And as a nice unpleasant bonus to cap things off, they throw one last Aurum dose at you that'll pretty much kill the 2 Centurions that are out, assuming that it gets an attack off. But once it's done, just make sure you grab the Drink of the Gods before the cutscene ends. God, you're gonna need it.
Chiron is right up ahead.
Halt, stay away.
Does something seem a little off about Chiron?
How can you even tell?
We may be free of the worst part of the level, but we're not free of the pain and suffering. Hey guys, did you know that he says kill in binary? Yeah, we did. That's surface level iceberg knowledge these days. The real question is, what does the thumbnail say in binary? Who am I kidding? You probably already figured it out by the time you got this far in the video. Anyways, Aurum Pyron might just be the worst boss in the game. I know everyone loves to shit on Hades' heart, but that battle wasn't too bad if you have a weapon that can shoot through walls like a club. Which is a very weird sentence now that I say it out loud. Aurum Pyron, however, has no such caveat. His battle is a pain, and it sucks because this fight should be awesome. I split these games into their story arcs instead of the usual 3-act structure, but if you're a 3-act kind of guy, then this is the big boss to cap off Act 2 of the game. And setting-wise, it's great. You have Pyron betraying you, becoming the main villain of a bigger threat that drags everyone else together as he controls the swarm for a short time. But after about 15 minutes, he begins to be devoured by the Aurum brain itself, losing his limbs in the process and becoming absorbed by it, turning him into an actual god in the machine. Just for the fight to be a glorified generator boss that's somehow considerably worse than the other generator bosses. Whether you call him Aurum Pyron or Deus Ex Machina, I call him a blight upon the game. The battle isn't very fun. Phase 1 is straightforward, just destroy his 4 shield generators, but unless you have a laser staff or an Earth Maul club, you kinda gotta wait until the arena rotates around and gets you close enough to hit the generators, which by the way, can shoot at you, while Pyron is also shooting at you with surprisingly hard to dodge attacks, like the Fire Snake, and I swear he always pulls out the triple shot when I turn away to take out the other targets. Or maybe I'm just bad. And it's not helped by the Fire Snake wiggling back and forth, requiring multiple dodges in a row to avoid, and it being able to hit you multiple times, and we can't forget the Great Ring of Fire that cannot be dodged, so you have to use the jump pad to jump over it, and yeah, that gimmick certainly isn't clunky at all, and has certainly not gotten me killed multiple times in a row. Not to mention that this is still a very late game boss, so he hits like an absolute truck regardless of the difficulty level. It's a shame because this could have been an epic battle to cap off the arc, and the last boss before the game's 3-year time skip. And don't tell me we couldn't make some sort of melee combat fight work, because we already had a human v human fight that was awesome in the form of both Dark Pit and Phosphora. Those worked amazingly, and you could have done something like that here, or even a more gimmicky, tricky fight like Arlon. But instead, we just get a downright frustrating opponent at the end of far and away the least enjoyable level in the game, and it's hard for all the wrong reasons, with the annoying escort mission being a major part of that, and also just the boss doesn't really have difficulty in the way of hard patterns, it just shits random bullshit at you. I don't like this fight. It really is the low point of the game, and I'm very glad that at the very least, after this level's over, it's pretty much all looking up from here. Because this level, it really does sour the game's mood, if I'm being honest.
Go back to space!
I need to extract you.
This seems familiar!
We've been doing this a lot. With any luck, Pyron will push the Aurum to the other end of the galaxy.
He's finally does something useful.
Now we can get back to eliminating the real enemy, the Underworld Army.
So long, space scum!
And that's going to do it for this video. I love Kid Icarus Uprising, and I've been having a blast revisiting it after the better part of a decade, but this level ticked me off as a teenager in middle school and early high school, and it's still ticking me off as a young adult with a degree and a full-time job, and I'll probably rant about it some more in the near future because I plan on ranking all the levels of this game from worst to best fairly soon, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content of varying quality, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all next time when we deal with awful swimming controls and a boss that lasts entirely too long. Until then, take care everyone. I would love for Hades to come back in some theoretical Kid Icarus Uprising sequel, but I gotta wonder who they'd have voice him since S. Scott Bullock has long since been retired. Maybe Alex Roshan? That'd be cool. Or James Woods just to piss everyone off.